Hey guys! Are you guys ready for today's lesson? So I've been to a lot of gay spas and saunas here in Ho Chi Minh City. And I've made videos about pretty much all of them, which you can check out in like this playlist right here on my channel. But to be honest, some of my opinions have changed since making those videos. Like I've gone back a few times, experienced some new things, and well, yeah, I feel like it's worth it to like give an update on my thoughts and opinions on some of these places, because I don't want to give you guys any false impressions or like lead you guys astray because of like outdated opinions. So I want to make this video to update everything, but I'm also not going to go super in depth with these videos. I'm just going to give you guys like a general update on my thoughts and opinions, and I'm just going to assume that you watched those previous videos that I made. And I also thought it would be fun to rank them all in a tier list. So yeah, let's just get started with, of course, NaDam, because this place is undoubtedly still the most popular and most well-known gay spa/sauna here in Ho Chi Minh City. And since it's the most popular, it is the most crowded, and especially so on the weekends. And initially I said that I didn't like this place that much, like I thought it was just okay, but recently I have definitely been appreciating it a lot more. And that's because the guys here, they can be truly very, very attractive. And if you've watched my channel before, if you're an OG here, you would know that my ultimate weakness are big juicy man titties. And this place does have a lot of big boobed guys galore, though they're mostly older and like kind of prawny. And if you don't know the gay slang of what prawn means, it's basically like someone who has a very attractive body but the face doesn't quite live up to the standards of the body. Yeah, so there's a lot of prawny guys and also just mostly older men, but most of them are just very fit, or at least they have big juicy titties, which is a plus for me. Do I got low standards? I don't know. And honestly, this place is just like super aesthetic. Like it's the most aesthetic gay spa/sauna you can get in the city, and also just abroad. Like I think the only gay spa/sauna that I've been to that like beats NaDam in terms of aesthetics is Kaikan Onsen. And you still have that option of like getting a massage with the staff if you don't find any of the boys cruising there attractive. And in my initial video, I said that this place was dark, but man, I did not realize just how dark it can get in that space. Like this is literally the darkest place, the darkest sauna in any gay spa here in Ho Chi Minh City. Actually, it's the darkest gay sauna I've ever been to in my life. Like it's so dark, it's kind of a hazard. Like I've literally hurt myself a few times just walking around in there. Like I banged against the door when it swung open, and also banged my foot against like a bench. Like especially in that bottom area where the showers are. The place is so dark. You can only barely make out the faintest of silhouettes. Like the light is like just enough so that you can tell that there is something there, but you can't see their face, you can't really make out the details of their body. You're just like surrounded by these amorphous blobs of blackish blue. And also it's super uncomfortable as shit in those private areas. Like it's literally like a wooden floor. Terrible for your knees. And because it gets so crowded here, there's just not a lot of space for privacy. And honestly, even though a lot of hot guys do in fact come here, sometimes my enjoyment of the place is like very, very mixed. Like on the good days, the days are very good. Like I have a lot of fun, I meet a lot of nice people, it's great. But on the bad days, it's really uncomfortable because the guys are really pushy. Like I might have mentioned this in my last video, but I think I gotta really emphasize just how pushy these guys can be at NaDam. Like sometimes they literally don't take no for an answer. There was this one time when a guy just bear hugged me, and I really had to like wiggle my way out, and he was like whispering in my ear, you know, asking me where I was going, why can't I just stay with him for a little bit, when I clearly was not interested. And like the more you try to wiggle away, the more they tighten their grip, which is such a turn off. I really don't like that. It really is the worst, and it unfortunately does happen even on the good days, but on the bad days it can get bad. And it's usually the older generation that does this, so it's not a good look. However though, despite this, just because of like the sheer number of people that go here, I'm still gonna give this place like an A rank. Like it's kind of like the grinder of gay saunas here, because like everyone knows this place, everyone will go here because everyone knows this place. So regardless of whether or not they like this place, they'll still go here because it's crowded, and statistically you would have the most likely chance of finding a hot guy who's interested in you here, right? And it's still quite aesthetic, despite the spacing issue and the pushiness sometimes and the darkness. So yeah, still an A rank. Alright, so for the next three saunas, I'm going to talk about them as though they are one package initially, because they're all kind of the same-ish with just some minor differences between the three. The biggest similarity between all three of them is that these are definitely local saunas. So while at NaDam you have like a higher likelihood of finding foreign people, these places are definitely a lot more local, dominantly local. Like the kinds of people who come here are, you know, like your younger university student who maybe doesn't have that much money, or like your you're, your everyday office worker who just wants to come in after work to relax, maybe find a quick moment of fun, or like, your everyday Asian uncle. I do sometimes see like a foreign person in here, like once every blue moon, but it's kind of rare. But because these places are more local, it's definitely a lot dirtier, a lot more grungier, and like a bit more like rundown looking. But despite that, these places still attract like quite a large crowd, and they can be quite good looking. And now I'm going to go into each one and explain the differences between these three saunas. So first with By Men Spa. So this place, it feels like it has more tops, or well, it's more likely to have more tops, because I think the By Men Spa, I think it's catered towards bisexual men. So this place, the aesthetics are definitely lacking. Of the three, this place is probably like the worst looking one. It doesn't really feel super clean. Also, the private rooms are like lacking. The private room here, like on the top floor, it can get super hot and to the point where it's basically unusable. So the private rooms that are available, like they're always occupied. And the darkroom area is very dark. You can't really see shit, which is kind of a turn off. But hot guys do come here, and if you're a bottom, this place is pretty good. And because of that, I'm gonna put this in like a B rank. But even if you're a top, there's still quite a lot of twinks that come here, because younger guys, younger unemployed guys, students, like they do tend to come to these local places, and By Spa is quite popular with them too. So the next spa is Galaxy Sauna. So out of the three, this definitely feels like the cleanest and most aesthetic of the three. Well, I say most aesthetic, but like I'm just saying that in terms of this place looks the best out of the three. Like I'm not saying that I like the design that they went with, but like more effort was put into the decoration of this place than the other places for sure. However, in terms of the guys, I think the likelihood of running into a attractive guy here is the least. But looks are subjective, and you already know what my type is, right? So like I think the past few times when I came here, I think there was only like 1 or 2 people who kind of fit my criteria. But if you're someone who's more interested in like the everyday office look or like the Twinkie look, this place would probably rank higher for you. This place definitely has the most comfortable darkroom area in my opinion. Like it is not pitch black darkness like at NaDam or By Spa. Like there's this semi glow in the dark tape that kind of lines the flooring so you won't like walk into a wall. And there's also like benches that line the wall, so it's like comfortable. Honestly, if the crowd is better, I would like this place a lot more, but because the crowd I find is sometimes lacking, I would put this place in C rank. But I feel like the overall structure and design of this place is still like the best. It just needs like a better crowd in my opinion. If it had a better crowd, it'd probably be the top of the B rank, but for now we can put it in C rank. The last place of the three is Dream Sauna, and I feel like Dream Sauna is like a mix of these two places. Like the aesthetics are better than By Men Spa, but it can still be just as grungy, like especially when it's crowded. Like hot guys also do come here. I feel like there are more hot guys here than in Galaxy, but there's probably more in By Spa, or at least it's comparable to By Spa during the times when it's crowded. However, just like with By Spa, I feel like space is kind of limited. I feel like there are more usable private areas here than in By Spa, which is a plus. So because of that, I think I'm gonna put it like in the top of the B rank. It's pretty comparable to By Spa, but I feel like Dream Sauna is just a little bit better just because more private areas, hot guys still do come here, and yeah. So the next sauna I'm going to talk about is 69 Zone. So this place definitely has the biggest and most ergonomic darkroom area of all the saunas here in Ho Chi Minh City. Still, some of the darkroom areas here are still too dark in my opinion. Like I'll never understand why they make it so dark. I feel like some of the places can be as dark as NaDam, but NaDam is still darker. And just like at NaDam, this place can be quite crowded, but it's still not as crowded as NaDam. Like NaDam is definitely way more crowded and attracts a bigger crowd for sure. But because this place is closer to the city, I think you can commonly find more foreign people here. Like I've met people from the States, from Thailand, from Taiwan, Hong Kong, pretty much everywhere, Indonesia. And even though the crowd here isn't quite as thick as it is in NaDam, there's still quite a decent amount of hotties that come here. And I have to say that people here are definitely less pushy than at NaDam, which is a huge plus for me. But just in terms of population, I feel like NaDam just has way more people, so that the likelihood of finding someone who matches your attraction is like higher over there, which is a shame because I actually think I like this space way better than at NaDam. Like it's more easier to like traverse through. I just wish it had more of NaDam's crowd. But that's not to say that the crowd here is lacking. Like it still gets crowded here on the weekends, but it's just that my good days here at 69 Zone are not as good as my good days over there. But my bad days here are not nearly as bad as the bad days I have at NaDam. So it's kind of like comparable to NaDam, to be honest. It's just like a less intense taste. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna put this right next to NaDam. They're pretty much close to each other, like pretty on par. If you're someone who really wants a bigger crowd, go to NaDam. If you want something that's less intense but like, still good, go to 69 Zone. So the next sauna I talked about is Chill Sauna, and literally there is no change in opinion. I still don't like it, so D rank. So the next place I talked about is Azure. Now I'm really excited to talk about this place because in my opinion, this place is such a hidden gem. It's very pleasing to the eyes, very clean. The staff is young and friendly. The best part about this place is that it has a little bit of everything. But my most favorite part about this place is that it's more of a social experience than a hookup spot. I feel like that's something that's very special because like obviously people don't go to gay saunas to like make friends, right? They go for some other business, which is fine, of course. Like there's still a cruising experience, which I'll talk about. Like you have the option of just coming here just to chill out and potentially make some friends, or you can just come in here just for the cruising. And I really like having those choices. And the boys here, oh my god. Every time I've come here, the boys here are just so very attractive. I mean, like, it's kind of to be expected, I guess, because it's a pool lounge. So a lot of the guys that come here, they have like a beach body, they're beach body ready, they want to show off, right? So yeah, the majority of people here are very attractive and it's a little intimidating. You can check out my review there for like a more in-depth review. I feel like most of my opinions are still the same. So yeah. S rank for sure. So the next one is NaDam Spa. So you saw my previous video, you see that I hyped up this place like no tomorrow. And I feel like out of all the places that my opinions have changed on, this place definitely has changed the most. So in my original review, I spoke about my first ever experience at NaDam Spa. And all of that is still true. It really was the best spa experience like I've ever experienced. But since then, I have returned to NaDam Spa numerous times. And I feel like each time I've gone to NaDam Spa, the overall quality of the experience hasn't been as great as the last. However, this is not to say that this place is bad, because like my first experience here was like truly just really magical. Like really good. Like they treated me like a Disney princess. And while the quality has dipped a little bit since then, because my original experience, the bar was like set so high, like the experience dipping a little bit, going lower a little bit, like it's still a good experience, you know what I mean? If not excellent still. It's just that they didn't treat me as special anymore. And I do have to be honest and say, like during my most recent visit to NaDam Spa, the facilities and the locale was starting to show its age more. Like some of the flooring was starting to peel because of like age and like water damage. And I do have to say that the place was starting to lose its professionalism just like a little bit. Like I dragged Rainbow Spa for their bathrooms because like if you saw that video, you'd know that like I complained about the fact that the staff like left their toothbrushes and toothpaste on the sink, which I thought was like not very professional at all for a spa setting. And I gotta be consistent because like unfortunately during my last visit at NaDam Spa, I basically saw the same thing. Like in their VIP room, so their VIP room is basically like the massage room but it has an attached bathroom. In that room, unfortunately I saw like the same thing, like a toothbrush and a toothpaste being left around so that like it's clear that some of the staff members like, you know, live in the spa. In my opinion, it just like really ruins the vibe. It ruins the professionalism of the spa. But even still, I have to admit that these are like minor nitpicks because overall the customer service and the boys are still good. It's still above decent. Like after your service, the owner is just very nice, very sweet. He usually comes out, asks you how your day is, asks you how the experience was. He really does care about your experience and like he will offer like you snacks and tea. The vibe here is still very comfortable, very relaxed. It's still great. But it's just like, yeah, unfortunately, all my consecutive experiences here at NaDam Spa just never lived up to that first one where I was truly treated like a princess. Which is a shame, but you know, it is what it is. And it still doesn't take away that this place is still my current favorite gay spa here in Vietnam. Maybe that will change in the future, but for now it's still my favorite. But yeah, because of that, this place is like A rank for me. Now for the rest of these spas, literally I have no change in opinions because I never went back to those places after my first encounter. Because like they still charge the same as NaDam Spa and NaDam Spa is still like my favorite. So why would I bother going to this one when I have that? You know what I mean? So yeah, watch my reviews on those places if you still want my thoughts and opinions on those places. But like yeah, I'm giving these ones C across the board. With the exception of NaDam Spa, I feel like NaDam Spa, the aesthetics of this place is kind of good. And it does kind of have a mini cruising option, which puts it above the other places. But I still don't like the fact that they're very catfishy with their masseurs. So I think maybe I'll definitely put these above the other spas. So those are all of the gay places I went to during my past 2 years of living here in Ho Chi Minh City. As of this video, these are all my current opinions of each place. And if you want to know more, you can find out a review video that I did somewhere on my channel. Thank you for watching. Give me a like if you want to support me. And also, if you're interested in seeing more of me, I now have officially launched my website. Low-key, it's still kind of under construction, but I just thought I'd just make it just because. So yeah, if you want to get connected, feel free to subscribe or also just like follow me on Instagram. Also, if you're traveling to the city and you want like a tour guide or someone to like guide you along certain places, I'm also available. Feel free to negotiate with me if you want that experience. Yeah, just feel free to message me and we can work something out. But yeah, that's everything I have for this video. Thank you for watching and thank you for supporting me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you want more information about something, just feel free to comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.